This is Soph,
I think this is Rich.
and we are from across the pond.
What's happened to you? Have you been bitten since Friday?
It's Halloween.
Okay, let me just clarify. Rich has got his teeth in because obviously we did say initially that we were going to dress up. Then we were meant to have a guest today, but unfortunately she's had to reschedule. Then we didn't have any time to sort anything out or discuss it. So Rich has come with teeth. That's our contribution.
That's our contribution to Halloween.
Yeah, and if you don't understand what he's saying because of the teeth, what can I say? Sorry about that.
You can understand me.
It's just you talk with a lisp. You can understand me. Okay, sucker and succotash.
Ah, pretty.
Oh, God. How was your weekend?
My weekend was very uneventful, which is a good thing. I got some well-needed rest. I've been doing some more writing and so on and so forth. How about yourself?
And you've been bitten by a vampire.
I've been bitten.
Yeah, mine was
succubus.
Mine was similar to yours, uneventful. I did some work yesterday and I got some rest. I did, however, manage to get a little binge session in on You.
Oh, I finished You too.
Me too. Well, not You, literally You, but on Netflix You.
Wasn't that ending awesome?
Yeah. But the one thing, sorry to have a spoiler for anybody who hasn't watched it yet. Where did he get his money from to go to Paris?
First of all, I don't know how they was working anyway, because he worked in a library.
He was volunteering, so it was only her who had money.
Yes, I don't know. He probably took her dough.
But he's supposed to be dead, so this is the thing. I know it's only a program and it's not real life, but that's how my brain works. It thinks about things like that.
But they did say at the end that there will be a part 2. There will be a part 3.
Part 3?
I mean, there'll be another season.
You mean season 6? Well, that's obvious because he's set on finding that chick.
I don't know how you're going to find her in Paris. She didn't go to Paris. She went to New Jersey.
Who knows? But yeah, loved it. LOVE'd it.
Yes.
So yeah, that was my weekend. A little bit of work, a Netflix binge, and some much needed sleep. Alfie is back today and
Not having his best day.
Fireworks. Oh yeah, he had a fantastic day, but as soon as it gets dark, idiots just let fireworks off for the sake of letting them off, and he's scared, so he's quivering and crying. Not right now, before anyone judges me, he's asleep at the minute, but he just takes ages to go to sleep because he's quivering and crying in bed, and I don't really know what to do.
Baby.
I just sit with him, comfort him, but nothing I say makes it any easier. But
well, hopefully he'll grow out of it.
I hope so. But the thing is, though, I'm assuming it's going to carry on for a good few nights now because we have something here called Fireworks Night on the 5th of November. So yeah, yay.
Well, did you ever think about getting him some earphones
to go to sleep?
Noise counseling.
Yeah, A, wouldn't wear them. B, I think it'd be quite uncomfortable to try and get to sleep.
Well, until he falls asleep, then you can take them off of him.
Yeah. Well, I just tried to play some music to try and drown them out, but that didn't work or go down very well either.
He wasn't having. That's what I'm saying. You get the little noise cancellation earbuds or some ear.
I'm sorry, I can't take you seriously with them teeth in.
You want me to take them out?
No, but if I start laughing, don't take it personally. It's your own fault. Have you not had a Halloween party this weekend? Normally you go to a Halloween party.
Yeah, I didn't go.
Why not?
I didn't feel like it.
Oh, well.
A lot of drinking involved. I didn't feel like being surrounded with all that.
Can I just go back to the teeth for 1 second? When I was younger, I actually had, see these here, they were
Yeah.
actually real ones that grew, and they grew. So I had my normal teeth, and then these fangs started growing over the top. And obviously, in the end, I went to the dentist. They took ones out, but they left the ones here to grow down. But when I had two sets there, I used to hook my lip on my teeth like that and chase my sister around saying, Dracula. She used to hate it.
Me too. I got braces after numerous of times. I had rows of teeth on top of teeth.
Oh no, mine wasn't that bad. I just had one extra that I had to pull
Oh
out to
man,
make way
mine
for my
mine
family.
was bad. They took out about 6 or 7 teeth before I got my braces. And my wisdom teeth, I got them taken out too.
Mine still haven't come out yet. Only halfway out. I can feel them. Only halfway out. They're still there.
Yeah.
Who knows? Right. So serious Sunday. It's probably not going to be very serious because we're going to talk about Halloween.
Halloween,
Oh,
Halloween movies.
I've
What
got
was
to,
your favorite Halloween?
say that Halloween is definitely a your side of the pond thing more than our side of the pond. I did do a little research. I wanted to know
Y'all don't trick or treat?
what.
Y'all don't trick or treat?
Yeah, some people do. I've never been allowed to do it in my life. It's like seen as a form of begging, I think. But I've never been allowed to do it. Only one person has knocked on our door this evening, and it's dark. I ain't answering the door if I'm here by myself, but somebody knocked on the door and I flicked on the light and I was like, who is that? And then I went, trick or treaters, I ain't got no sweets, I ain't opening it. Okay, pause the trick or treating because we're going to come to that bit. But I wanted to know where it came from, and it says the tradition originated with ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. People would light bonfires and wear costumes to ward off ghosts. So this is way back in the day when it started. There wasn't no trick or treating. There wasn't no anything like that. Halloween parties. They literally just dressed up to ward off ghosts, right? So then I thought, well, at what point did it change, right? Because it's very commercialized now, costumes, decorations, sweets, blah, blah, blah. So it said trick-or-treating became more widespread, didn't become a more widespread practice until the 1930s, with the first appearance in the USA with the terms of trick-or-treating in 1939. So you, like I said, your side of the pond started all this.
Well, I happen to like Halloween. Some people think it's a pagan holiday. I think it's a time for kids to dress up and get some free candy.
Okay, you don't think it's become monetized?
Oh, of course, yeah, but I mean, it's mainly for little kids. Teenagers, not so much, but little kids, yeah.
I wouldn't let my little kids go out knocking on people's doors.
Well, that's you. There's a lot of people who do it. I remember I lived on a block where my kids were the only 2 kids on the block. And I went and got this big thing of candy in a big bowl, and I put all this candy in, and not one single soul came to my house. And my best friend lived right at the other end of the block. And I was telling him about it. He was like, yeah, bro. Don't nobody come down this street because there's no real kids down on this block.
Didn't you send your kids around to knock on everybody's door?
Oh, I took my kids. See, I'm hood. I took my kids to other neighborhoods.
See, I did see a good trick actually on I can't remember if it was on Facebook or Instagram earlier, where somebody got a massive bowl and put a sticker on it saying, help yourself to the sweets. But it was already, they left it there empty, hoping that when people saw it empty, they won't bother to knock on the door.
Well, you know what? I had a neighbor who does that every year. They set out a big bowl with treats. I think somebody just comes and just dumps it all in their bag.
Probably. That's why I
'Cause
wouldn't do that.
it never lasts till the end of the night.
Do you think, this is what I was going to say, this is a serious question for Serious Sunday. Do you think Corona will have had an impact on the amount of people, or will it have put people off going trick or treating, do you think?
Well, during the pandemic, there was no trick or treating.
So you think people are like, now the streets are open, lockdown's over, let's go and trick or treat? Or do you think people will still be cautious?
I think some people are still cautious. But when I was coming home from work, there was a lot of people out still trick or treating. And I was like, wow, there's a lot of kids out trick or treating. But you know what? I've noticed a lot more parents.
Okay, so with the pandemic, if you had children now, would you let them go trick or treating?
No.
No.
My kids are too cool for they too cool for trick or treating. I took them trick or treating one year, and that was the last year I took them. They didn't even want to wear costumes. They was just knocking on the door like trick or treat, and the lady was like, "What's your costume?" Myself. I was like, "You're supposed to get all festive." I go all out.
Okay, so let me ask you this: when you go trick or treating, what would you ever do if someone said, "Actually, I'll have a trick"?
Then I would stay and watch the trick.
Oh, they got to give you a trick. What about then if they chuck something like an egg at you or something? This is what I mean. Have you ever had anything?
That's not a trick. That's cruelty.
Okay, what's the trick then?
I don't know, like a coin trick or a card trick or.
Oh, you mean like a magic trick?
Yeah.
Oh.
So you've never over there, you've never went trick or treating?
Nah, not once.
Have you ever given out any candy? Besides just the other day when someone knocked on your door.
A couple of times, probably in my last house, but that was because it was in a small village. So there was a lot of children there, and they would go trick or treating after they had a Halloween party at the village hall. And my house was first in the line, so if I didn't answer, and plus I knew everybody there, so it didn't bother me. But I always thought there was an underwritten rule that you only knocked on. I thought it was you only knocked on people's houses if they had a pumpkin outside.
Well,
but then
here. Well, no, I'll let you finish. I'm sorry, I cut you off.
The other thing I heard was if you got your lights on, then that's a key for them to knock.
Right.
But I didn't have either earlier, and they still knocked on the
door. Well, they probably thought you had some goodies over there. That's what it is.
I could have given them some of these, couldn't I?
You could have. In a sandwich bag or something. You just don't give them just straight cookies.
You give them in a sandwich bag? See, now I wouldn't have took them. If I'd have ever gone trick-or-treating and they gave me something in a sandwich bag or something that was loose, I would never have took it. I need to see it in the packaging.
Well, yeah. When I was a kid, the famous thing was popcorn balls. I don't know if you know what a popcorn ball is, but it's like it's just big around. And there was this lady that used to make them. And she would put them in a sandwich bag and no one ate them. I think everybody on the block got one and no one would eat it because it was just like, it wasn't packaged right. And you're not supposed to eat anything that ain't packaged right anyway.
Well, how do you know she didn't lick it before she put it in there or anything? You don't know. She could have sneezed and then.
I wouldn't know because I ain't never ate it. No one really ate it.
Yeah.
But we all know where it came from. But we just never really ate it.
The other thing is, if it's not, is it kids or is it their parents that are ungrateful? Because if someone was to knock on the door and trick or treat and I gave them an orange, they'd probably moan about that, right? Because they want sweets.
Well, I had some kids that were asking me about certain candies, and I was like, just take the candy, kid. Like, you should be thankful that you're getting candy. And the guy was like, little kid was like, got any Smarties? You got any Reese's?
This is what I mean. At what point do you get?
Wow.
At what point did they get to knock on the door and choose what they asked for? It's not a shop.
I know. See, when I was coming up, you just took candy and just threw it in the bag. Or the person who was giving out the candy just gave you some. Just bam, 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 bam.
I mean, I have heard stories where people got eggs and flour chucked at their house if they didn't answer the door. I've never personally, thank goodness, touch wood and whistle, had that happen to me.
Really?
Yeah. I'm just going to have one of these Tic Tacs. Instead of going trick-or-treating, I'll treat myself to a candy.
Coca-Cola Tic Tacs.
Mm.
Look at you. Well, here, you have to have your light on. And well, when I was a kid, your parent went with you until you became a teenager. Then you were too old to be trick-or-treating. Then it became a little much because then we were hellions when we were teenagers. So it was called grab bagging.
Grab bagging?
Yeah, where you would run behind a kid and just take their candy.
Oh, yeah, you told us about that before.
That was terrible. I look back at that and I go, that was terrible. But I did it. I'm not proud of it, but I did it. But so the rule is once you get the candy home, your parents are supposed to rummage through it and make sure there's no like razor blades. Because when I was a kid, they always used to say there was razor blades, and if there was packages that were unopened, they just would throw it out.
Who said that? Your parents?
Yeah.
Are you sure they didn't say that to you just so they could take the best candy for themselves?
Oh, I wouldn't know. But that was the thing when I was a kid.
Don't come at me, Father Payne. I'm not saying that you did do that. I'm just saying maybe.
Nah, my dad's not a real big candy person, and neither am I as I've gotten older.
Yeah, you're not really a sweet person. You're a savory person.
Yeah. Now, if they was giving out like boxes of donuts or something.
Oh my God. Yeah, you're cake, not candy, I think.
Yeah, I'm a pastry junkie.
Cakes, that's called over here.
Cakes, pastries, cakes, cookies, biscuits.
Just not chocolate, lollies, and sweets.
Now, do they have there a haunted house? Do y'all have haunted houses?
What, actually, that people have lived in, or you mean set up theme thing?
Set up for kids to go through and scare the bejesus out of them.
The new thing that we've got here at the minute seems to be haunted walks. You know, like in a park or whatever, they set it up with lights, or people wear costumes to jump out and scare you and stuff. That seems to be the thing here at the minute. I saw a few on social media earlier.
Now we have a thing here that is really, really popular. It's called Field of Screams.
Oh God!
And it's a big field, and you're just like walking along a path. And I kid you not, it's got to be the scariest thing I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that does not sound like fun to me. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. And then like they got later ones for like older kids where like, oh, it's scary. Then they got haunted hay rides. Have you ever been on a hay ride?
Like in a field, hay bales?
Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't been on one, no. I wouldn't go on one either. I would not sign myself up for anything like that because I'm a very jumpy person. I told you I went to the cinema the other week to watch Venom, jumped out of my seat and watched it through my fingers. I'm not about to sign myself up for somebody to jump out and scare the bejeebers out of me. Why would I pay money for that?
Yeah. Now I'm not big on horror movies too, but I am big on werewolves and vampires and
we know blood
red supernatural stuff. You know, because I grew up with Michael Myers and Jason and Freddy Krueger and all that.
See, this is the thing. When they was out, I watched. Don't get it twisted. I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, right? But now, when I haven't done it anyway, but from that day onwards, I never close my eyes or fall asleep in the bath. After that scene where his hand comes out of the bath and drags her down, no. I'm never closing my eyes or sleeping in the bath.
Mm.
And I swear to goodness, every time I go in the, have you seen Arachnophobia, the film?
Yes.
You know, one plops down on her when she's in the shower. I
Yeah.
swear to God, from that moment to this, every time I get in the bath, the first thing I do, well, I look, get in the bath, and then I have another look. Okay, nothing's there, fine. Because there is nothing dropping on me when I'm in the bath. I'm telling you that. I will literally
What?
die on the spot.
Mm-mm-mm. That's terrible.
That's got to be one of the worst horror films I've ever seen, Arachnophobia.
Oh yeah? No, I'm gonna tell you what horror movies I do not like. And that's supernatural movies where they talk about possessions.
Oh, like Poltergeist and stuff?
Yeah. And I don't like when they put little kids in horror movies.
Mm.
Because little kids scare me as it is anyway. And just to have them running around looking crazy is enough for me. I can't do it. But werewolves or vampires or Dracula,
You
mummies.
talking about werewolves, was you into that whole Twilight series?
I liked it, but I liked it. It was okay. It was a
Sorry.
teeny bopper show, but I liked it.
Yeah, I was never in, like when I was coming up, like Buffy was on the telly and Angel. I never got into that either.
Yeah, but I did like Underworld with Kate Beckinsale.
I think I've only ever seen one of those. I tell you the
Oh my God, I
vampire.
watched every last one of them.
I
I
tell
think
you
I
the
own
one,
them all.
the only one I don't mind, Blade.
What? Blade? A superhero movie.
That's the only one.
That's the only one you can tolerate?
Yeah. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was really annoyed with you the other week when you said watch Blood Red Sky. Partly my fault. I didn't watch the trailer, and I didn't read the Hoojit Maboblet. I just literally took your word for it. Press play. Off we went. For anybody who hasn't seen it yet, A Blood Red Sky on Netflix. And when it starts, they're in a plane that gets hijacked. And to be honest, I thought, oh, here we go, one of these again. They're going to get stuck in the sky. Somebody's going to save them, blah, blah, blah. And then randomly, actually pooped myself when the woman jumps out and she's a vampire. And I was like, what the actual fudge? I did watch it, but I was just like, no.
I loved it. I loved every minute of it.
I do have to apologize because I haven't put our movie reviews on our channel for some time now. Like our channel admin, shall we say, since we got our website and our merch, seem to have stepped up a notch. So something had to give. So our movie reviews are on the radio station and nowhere else. But I was thinking the other day, I will start to put them back up.
Yeah. So when you were a kid and you weren't allowed to do trick or treating, what things did you do as a kid?
We would go
or
to
did y'all just didn't celebrate it at all?
We would go to a Halloween party at the social club.
Oh, so you did celebrate. You did go out
and our costume would always be the same. We would go as witches. We were allowed to buy a witch's hat from the shop, which was probably like £1. And then my mum would cut 3 holes in a bin bag, put it on to make a dress. And then you had stripy socks you pulled up to your knees and wore your shoes. That's it.
Wow. Well, I've been Dracula. I've been a werewolf. I've been Darth Vader.
But this is as an adult where you're talking now, right?
Right. Now, when I was a kid, I dressed up as a homeless person. I dressed up as Casper the Friendly Ghost. Who else? Scooby-Doo.
See, this
Superman.
is the thing. I've never even been to a Halloween party as an adult. So
what?
Yeah.
This is the best kind.
But like I say, we don't really celebrate it as much over here.
Well, you might have to change that tradition
and listen, I even put a post on the other day on social media. I went and bought a pumpkin and I stuck a big knife in it and took a picture because my mum taught me, don't play with your food. So there was no drawing
Yeah,
or
yeah,
carving
yeah. I
of the
saw
pumpkin.
that. I saw
No
that.
drawing or carving of the pumpkin. I made pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin soup.
Pumpkin and sweet potato soup. It was delicious. Pumpkin and sweet potato soup.
Pumpkin sweet potato. You know what? I'm not going to knock it until I can try it. Other than
Exactly.
that, pumpkin soup.
Ask my mum. She tried some.
Did she like it, or did she just say that because you're her daughter?
She liked it, but she did say, "Oh, I can taste that you've put a little bit of pepper in here." That was her only other comment. It was very nice, but I could taste the pepper.
So, okay, so when you're at home, do you watch horror marathons?
I never watch horror films.
Never?
They're not for me. Not for me whatsoever. I literally jump out of my skin at a door closing, never mind anything else.
Now, do you think Harry Potter is part of the Halloween witches and warlocks and all that good jazz?
Should I let you into a little secret?
You've never watched Harry Potter?
No. And you know what? When Harry Potter books first came out, I had a job as a nanny and I used to look after 4 kids, right? The eldest one, Noni, she was 10. And I remember we used to read before she goes to sleep. And she said to me one day, "Oh, I've got some new books to read." I was like, great. Here they were, Harry Potter books. So
Harry Potter?
Potter, whatever his name is.
Potter.
I know, Harry Potter. So she got the book out and I started reading, and it started going on about eagle's blood and this, and I was like, oh God, this is not for kids. This is terrible. And that's the only interaction I've had with Harry Potter. I don't require to read any, watch the films. No.
See Harry Potter again?
It is Harry Potter, but I like to call him Harry Plopper because it's a load of poo. Oh.
It's a load of boo.
But they do have a tour here, Harry Plopper tour, where you can go like round and see how it was made and all this malarkey.
Oh yeah.
My cousin's been. She loves Harry. Not for me. Do you think it's part of Halloween?
I think so.
Shall I tell you the other thing I don't like about Harry Plopper that really got my back and my goat up? Is I've been to Florida, right, with my mum. And when we were there, I mean, we're talking years ago, probably 10, 13, maybe 14 years ago. We went there and we went on the Back to the Future ride, right? Where you sit in a DeLorean. It's like a 3D, 4D, 5D bloody. It was amazing. The best ride, in my opinion, that we went on when we were there.
Uh-huh.
They got rid of it to replace it with Harry Plopper. Why? Why?
Because some of these kids don't even know what Back to the Future is.
Educate them.
They cater to the younger audience.
No.
And right then and there, Harry Potter was popular.
Well, they just
all about Back to the Future.
Well, Harry Potter has gone down in my estimations after he got rid of my favorite ride, so no.
Oh. Well, Halloween here, as an adult, you just go to Halloween parties, which I didn't go this year.
At people's houses?
Mm-hmm. I normally have a friend who has one, and they have a big bonfire, a lot of party, and it's a really good time. I just didn't feel like going.
Sometimes you don't feel like going, and that's fine. You know, you got to wear your teeth. What more do you need?
I know. I was going to wear my contacts, and the contact ripped, and part of it came out, and the other part was like in behind my eye, and I had to like
finger it out.
I had to like move my eyeball around to get it out. It was terrible.
That's only ever happened to me once, and I didn't think I was ever going to find it or get it back.
Oh my goodness. It was white contact. It was a white contact that goes over the eye. It ripped right in half, and the part came out, but the other part was like lodged.
That sounds like a horror movie in itself. That sounds like...
Oh, it wasn't painful. It was just irritating.
I know what you mean. Now tell me, with these teeth in, can you eat and drink?
Yeah, I can eat and drink. Mhm. I can eat and drink.
It's amazing the small things that please you as you get older, right?
I know I'm a big kid, so it don't really matter to me. I like stuff like this. I was gonna wear my whole werewolf outfit,
Would
but
you
then
open your door
ran
to
out
trick or
of.
treaters with them in? Just to
Yep, I
try and
have.
scare them?
I have. I have with my colored contacts, my fangs. Yeah,
And
I've done it.
were they scared?
Hmm. He was like, or they go like this. That's so cool. Look at his eyes. His eyes are so cool.
Until you say, I'm gonna bite you if you don't get off my property.
Ha!
Yeah, I don't know.
So
Maybe
what's your so when you did these Halloween parties when you were a kid, what was your favorite candy? Did they give you candy to take home?
no. You just went there. It was just a
What?
disco. You just went there in a costume. You had a competition for the best dressed like person. I can't remember if what you won. Maybe you won. I'll tell you what I do actually remember you won. You used to get these plastic sticks, right? They might have like a shark's head or something on, and when you at the end of the stick, there's like a little handle that you press. So when you press it, the mouth opens like a grabber.
Yeah, yeah.
That's that's the sort of thing you would win.
Wow. Well, here as an adult, they have $500 for the best costume,
Well, hell, I'd even dress up for $500.
but your costume has to be rare, has to be dope.
Well, I'd hunt high and low to get the best one just for that.
So you spend money to make money.
Speculate to accumulate. That's how it goes. That's how it goes.
So right now, as an adult, what would you dress up as?
Okay, while I'm trying to think, do you know? Oh, well, you might not know because it might have only been in the UK, but do you know what the top selling Halloween costume was this year?
Squid Games.
The tracksuit from Squid Games.
Yeah, because last year it was the heist.
But don't you think the Squid Games one is actually a bit of a cop out because it's just a tracksuit?
Yeah. Well, there's a what's name on social media where a guy dressed up in a hospital gown and what's name for COVID. He dressed
Let me
with the
think.
ivy and everything stuck to his arm and everything, and the nose cannules and everything.
What would I dress up as? I honestly don't know.
There's only one thing I have yet to do as an adult, but I think I'm a little too old to do it.
Oh, good.
But I want to do it. Dress up as Superman.
You're never too old for Superman.
Shit. I seen a
But this is
costume
the thing. Halloween's
with the
meant to be
black suit.
Halloween's meant to be scary, right? Superman ain't scary.
Well, it doesn't have to be scary. It can just be a costume.
But then that's fancy dress. That's not Halloween. So what has Halloween got to do with Superman? Nothing.
It's a costume. That's what it is. It's a Halloween costume.
But it's not a Halloween one. It's just a costume per se. So you should save that for a fancy dress party, not a Halloween one.
A fancy dress party, you dress as Superman.
Yeah.
No. You're talking about like a masquerade ball. Is when you say fancy
No, I'm
parties like
talking
that,
about
I look at it as a masquerade ball with like
no. A masquerade
mask.
ball is a masquerade ball. A fancy dress party is when you dress up in a costume of your choice. No theme, no nothing, just whatever.
Oh. That sounds like a costume party then.
Okay, well, let's call it a costume party then. But we call it a fancy dress party.
Fancy dress. Like a
Fancy
black
dress,
tie
yeah.
affair?
No. Black tie is a black tie. Fancy dress is fancy dress. You dress up as a clown, as a Superman, as a whatever.
Sounds like a Halloween party to me. Now, would you let Alfie dress up if once he gets older? Would you let him dress up and participate in Halloween?
I would let him dress up if he wanted to, but he doesn't. If he wanted to, I would. I wouldn't let him. If he went trick or treat, ATP Halloween yawn. If he went trick or treating, I would take him to people's houses that I know and let him knock on their doors.
You wouldn't let him go to any, like you wouldn't let him go around the whole neighborhood?
No.
Well, you get to check the candy out after it's over.
What, in case there's razor blades in there?
Yeah.
Nah.
Or candy is unwrapped.
No, it's the thing. Like I say, I've never done it as I was growing up. We've never celebrated Halloween. The only way he would know about it is if is through school, I suppose. But yeah. No trick or treat. You can call me a mean mum if you want, but no, thank you. Now, hey, if he wants to get involved in Christmas, I'm all over it. All over
I bet you are.
Christmas all day, every day. You taking him out now?
I'm taking them out now. This
You lasted longer than I thought.
Yeah, I'm taking them out now. They lasted a lot longer than I thought. Yes. Welcome back to my pearly whites.
Welcome back. We can hear you without the lisp.
Yeah, the lisp was killing me.
Just as it's time to go, back you come. So yeah, sorry that the guest is rescheduled, but you know, this is how we roll. We keep it real. Sometimes things come up in life. Unfortunately, she had something she had to attend to. There's been a rescheduled for 2 weeks' time. We would have.
And I'm telling you, people, y'all are going to love her.
Honest to God, she is literally what this show represents. I'm not going to say any more than that. But also, we would have dressed up had we known.
Had a little more notice.
Yeah. So
before
my dad jumps in my WhatsApp messages, why didn't you dress up? I thought you said you was going to dress up. Boring. You didn't dress up. That's why. You didn't have enough time.
Yes, we didn't have enough time because I was about to go all in, but we ran out of time and the show must go on.
Exactly. We didn't even have a theme for today. We ain't going to lie. We just had our guest and we would have spoke to her about what we're going to speak to her about. So literally before we went on air, we were just like, let's talk Halloween.
Boom, that's how we roll.
That's how we roll. Keeping it 100.
Yes. Yupper.
Yepper. And I just want to say thanks to everyone that sent us birthday messages.
Oh, yes. I love the birthday messages. They were awesome. Awesome. That just shows the love. And it was from across the pond as well as here.
Both sides.
Both sides. Oh, it was beautiful. We'll have to save that.
Oh, goes without saying.
We'll just add to it every year. We'll just add more people to it every year.
Yeah. 1 year.
What do you think? Well, happy Halloween, people. Yeah. I hope y'all have got plenty of candy, a whole lot of socializing.
Happy Halloween to whoever celebrates it. If you don't feel bad about not opening your door, because I didn't either.
This is Soph.
This is Rich.
And we are from across the pond.
Have a good week, Rich. I'm going to see you Wednesday for our
have a great week. Yes.
We'll see these guys next Friday for another fabulous topic. Yepper.
Yes. Yupper.